Hey guys, you're listening to Mark Ling, and I've got with me today two special guests who happen to be absolute experts when it comes to CPA affiliate marketing. I'll let them take it away from here and explain to you their background story about how they got into it, and then also what CPA marketing is, and then they're going to show you their own revolutionary tactics that's led them to make piles of cash online, and so that you can copy and do it yourself. Okay, guys, well, welcome along to the show, and I'll let you guys take it away from here.
Great. Thanks, Mark. Hi, everyone. This is John Hostler here with Steve Iser. First and foremost, thanks for joining us this evening on the call. We appreciate you spending some time with us on a Saturday evening. And as Mark had indicated, we're going to talk to you this evening about CPA marketing. And just as a real brief, kind of background, for a number of years, I'd actually been doing copywriting online, working for a lot of top marketers, writing copy for them, and eventually had made a decision that I wanted to transition into something where it was a little bit less of a kind of a job and more of something where I was leveraging my time better and making good money while being able to enjoy that time. So I had transitioned from copywriter to going into CPA as a publisher and as an advertiser, and it's something that for me personally has really changed my life. Steve, if you want to share a little bit about your background real quick.
Yeah, and just myself personally, I mean, when I first got started with the internet, actually CPA marketing was one of the first things that I turned to, in fact, which was back in 2006, and from that point on, I kind of learned the game, the ropes. It took a while, it took a lot of struggle at first, spent a lot of money, had a lot of failures at first, but then what ended up happening as a result was really what it comes to what we're going to talk about today, about how we're able to find basically create models on what other affiliates are doing out there on the internet, and profiting as a result of doing that. And it's from that point on alone, I've been able to do a really high 5-figure a month income as a result of doing that with CPA marketing. And so that's where I am here today, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Steve? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into, real quick, we'll talk about what we're going to cover in tonight's call. There's kind of a system to what Steve and I do, and just because we realize that there's probably a number of different experience levels, a number of different experience types on the call, we're going to start off and we're going to kind of cover the foundation of CPA marketing. So we'll talk about what CPA marketing is, and then how it differs from, say, like ClickBank or Pay.com, which is what a lot of us recognize as kind of internet marketing in the internet marketing arena. So we'll talk about those things. We're going to go into something about network approval. We'll talk about how to get approved at the CPA networks fairly easily. This is one of those barriers for folks that are just kind of getting started in the CPA game, where whether it's just a mental barrier they create for themselves, or there's specific questions that they have a hard time getting around. A lot of times folks they kind of get stuck at that one spot. So we're going to actually show you how you can fairly easily get approved at just about any network that you want. Then we're going to move into some of the specific methods that we use, the specific strategies that we use to make money with CPAs. One of them being the Blitzkrieg method, which is a very cool strategy for making sure that you're maximizing the value on every website visitor that you have. And then we're going to talk about a stupid simple traffic method. When we talk about barriers, another one of those barriers that a lot of people create for themselves or bump into is getting traffic on their websites. And at a base level, internet success is really, it really boils down to product plus traffic equals cash. So when you look at it like that, once you get into the CPA network, getting the product, that's as many products as those CPA networks have, your product portion is covered. But the traffic, that's where a lot of people get stuck. Maybe they've struggled with certain paid methods. Maybe they've tried SEO and had a hard time with that. Maybe they've tried articles, etc. But we're going to show you a really easy method where you can get targeted traffic as soon as tonight if you want. And it's a very cool and simple strategy. Then we're going to kick it up a notch with something that we call the hammer technique, and this is something I think you just have to really see it to truly understand it. But this is something where it takes the affiliate marketing game to a totally different level. So these are some of the things that we're going to cover here on tonight's call, and we'll go ahead and move on. and get into kind of the foundational stuff that I mentioned. So what is CPA marketing? CPA marketing is cost per action or cost per acquisition. You know, just like ClickBank or Pay.com or other affiliate networks, you have these companies or these individuals that create products of their own. And they need to get those products out in front of targeted visitors, targeted people, targeted buyers. And, you know, sure, they're going to do some promotion themselves. They're going to get some of their own traffic methods. But as we all know, you know, getting an army of affiliates to promote for you, it's a great way to leverage your time and get, you know, enormous amounts of traffic by letting other people drive that traffic for you. And the advertisers, the people that create the products or own the products at the CPA side, they're no different. You know, they're looking for affiliates to promote their products to drive traffic for them. And the way that they'll pay you is by a number of different methodologies. One of them being by zip or email submission, you know, just a simple zip code or a simple email submit. They'll pay you for short registrations. They'll, you know, that'll be kind of like we think about in the internet marketing arena, maybe like squeeze pages or landing pages where you typically see like a name and email. In the CPA industry, that would be like a short registration. So, you know, when you think about getting paid for bits of information compared to some of the things you have to do to get paid in the internet marketing arena, it starts to open your eyes a little bit to how easy it can be to make money on this side. I mean, if you've ever created a product of your own or started building your own list, then quite likely you've integrated some kind of email capture form into your marketing components. And as you know, it's not that difficult to get a high percentage of people to opt into your landing pages, to opt into your opt-in forms. So now, instead of maybe, really putting in this extra effort to get somebody to actually take the action, pull out their credit card, and do the sale, you could get paid for something as simple as just them typing in a zip code, them typing in their email address or their name and email address. And the amount of money that you make, and it depends on the industries that the products are related to, but for short registrations, it can be anywhere from $2 to $50, sometimes even more, sometimes 75 or 100, depending on the industry, like health, insurance, finance. Those are some really strong industries where you can get paid a fair amount of money just for these short registrations. One of the other methods, which is very popular today, and it's one of Steve my favorites methods to promote on the CPA side or to get paid on the CPA side, is the risk-free trials, the RFTs. And the reason that these are so good is because with the risk-free trial, where the front end, the entry point for that end user, for that website visitor, in order for them to get closed, basically, they're committing to a low-price shipping and handling scenario, and it's a lot easier to convert someone on that than it is to say, okay, right now spend, $97, right? It's a lot easier to get them closed on something that's a risk-free trial. And it's, almost akin to just having someone do like a short registration. There might be a little bit more effort to get them to convert there, but it's not as difficult as converting an outright sale. But because there's a back-end process in place for the advertisers, the product owners, on these risk-free trials, the amount of money you get paid per lead is pretty significant. And we've got 30 to 45 here on the slides. Actually, these days it seems like 45 or 40 maybe on the low end, and I'm seeing 45 regularly, 50, 55, even $65 per lead. So you have a low barrier to entry in terms of converting that visitor, but a high payout per lead, and that makes this incredibly lucrative. And then, of course, they still pay by the sale, $50 on the low end, maybe for getting a person to convert to sale. And in some cases, like I was looking the other day, I saw a casino offer where the payout was like $175 per sale. A lot of times, they're paying out significant numbers if you actually do buy the sale. So, at a base level, CPA marketing is really paying you for tiny bits of information. When you're promoting these offers for the advertisers or the product owners, you're getting paid for tiny bits of information, and the barrier to entry is a lot lower than you might typically think about in other internet marketing affiliate avenues. And one of the really nice perks to this is, if I promote a product for somebody, say in the internet marketing niche, the make money niche, if I promote a product for them, I know that I'm going to have to wait anywhere from 30 to 60 days, if not a little bit longer, for a payout. I also know that, if there's any refunds or chargebacks or returned e-checks or whatever, if any of that stuff takes place, in between the time that I generate the initial sale or the initial action and the time I get paid, that's going to be taken right out of my cut. On the CPA side, you don't worry about that. You send them the leads. When those leads convert, they pay you for that. The refunds, forget about that. Forget about all that stuff. You get paid for it just for getting them to perform that action. Now, taking this a little bit further, let's talk about real quickly what separates the CPA networks from, say, a Pay.com or ClickBank, which is something that pretty much everybody in the internet marketing arena, once they've been around for even just a couple of months, they're familiar with these two networks. So yes, there are affiliate networks, and the CPA networks are the same thing. They're really affiliate networks, but that's really where most of the similarities between those three end. The CPAs, they specialize in really popular and trendy niche product offers. I like to look at them as the guys that provide the vanity offers and the desperate market offers. And the reason that this can be so valuable is because vanity offers and desperate market offers are easier to convert. When you look at society today, as a rule, as a whole, we're not getting less vain. If anything, we're getting more vain. We're spending money to improve our appearance and to make ourselves feel better about ourselves. And I read an interesting article a couple of weeks back about one of the industries that seems to be excelling even in tough economic times is the plastic surgery industry. More and more people are getting plastic surgery, no matter what the news, no matter what the economic climate, more and more people are getting plastic surgery. The reason is because people are getting more and more vain. So when you have product offers that speak to those folks, it's going to be easier to get conversions, and the market conditions, the economic conditions, really become irrelevant because people are still willing to pay money and good money for product types that speak to their vanity. Same thing with desperate markets. Weight loss, acne, these kinds of even like bad credit. That's a perfect one in this, in this market. Bad credit offers. There's a quote unquote credit crunch. So you've got like credit repair offers, or with the foreclosure crisis, you've got loan modification offers. Desperate markets, people that need a solution. So the CPA networks do a terrific job of finding these popular and trendy offers that speak to vanity and desperation and make it easier for you to convert. So you bring the traffic and they help you to convert by giving you these kinds of offers. One aside here, kind of as you probably guessed based on what I said when I mentioned what we're going to talk about tonight, the acceptance into the CPAs is not automatic. With ClickBank or Pay.com, basically you sign up and you get an affiliate link. With the CPAs, that's not automatic. You don't just sign up and you get an affiliate link. There's an approval process, and we're going to show you how you can get approved pretty much in any network that you want to get approved to here just in a few minutes. But this is actually a positive, because what this means is that the networks are out there trying to eliminate fraud as much as possible, keep the fraudsters at bay, if you will, and that means that you're at the end of the day you're going to get more payout per lead because they're not dealing with fraud. They're dealing with just good affiliates that are driving good traffic, and the advertisers are happy to pay for those leads. Another big difference is the amount of money, and it's significant. So certainly, ClickBank, Pay.com, there's a lot of money out there, but the CPA industry takes it to an entirely different level. I mean, we're talking about billions of dollars. As an example, there's I think he's 23 now. I think he was 22 last year. He was 22 years old. The guy who created the Wu Yi Source program, made $500 million in 1 year by himself at the age of 22. I mean, that's a lot of money for one person, and that's just, a fraction of the amount of money that's changing hands in this industry. It's absolutely incredible. And with the right tools and the right information, as a result, because there's so much money out there for the taking, you can make cash literally hand over fist. And and as an example here, you can see $70,000, almost 70,000 deposits for 1 month from CPA offers, and that's just 1 month. There's just an absolute staggering amount of money out there changing hands in the CPA industry. Steve, I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to you to talk about some of the strategies.
Perfect. Can you see my screen?
Still waiting. There we go.
All right, perfect. Again, everybody, thanks for being here again. And so again, so where we come down to at this point is that, there's a lot of people, and I'm sure yourself included, you've been watching for a long time now. You've seeing the emails, you've been seeing about a lot of people discussing about how CPA marketing works and how affiliate marketing works. You probably tried it yourself as well, of course, and I'm sure perhaps for a good number of you on this call, you've seen your successes and you've seen your failures as well, and that comes with this business. But I think one of the hardest parts really comes down to is simply the fact that it's a struggle for a lot of people to have to figure out the right offer to promote out there, and getting the right traffic out there, and figuring out how to make those things work together to create the money that you want to have. So basically what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to walk through a step-by-step plan. So of course, have your pen ready for this, because I'm going to be going through a couple very important things, and you're definitely going to want to write down a couple of these things in a bullet point here on your notepad. So again, let's go into a step-by-step plan about how I go about doing this. How do we go about setting this up now? We've discussed some of the things about how these networks work, how this is different from traditional affiliate marketing that we've seen, and how this is really going to become the evolution of how things are going to move in the internet as a whole and in its entirety. So let's get into the first couple of things that are important to do as far as right now. And the first and most important part is, of course, the first thing you need to do in order to even promote a CPA offer is you need to actually go ahead and you need to join a CPA network. And when you usually, I'm sure for a number of people on this call, you've probably at some degree, maybe or maybe not, you've actually tried to join a network, but what ends up happening is you might have been denied by a CPA network. So basically how it works is there's so many CPA networks out there, there's probably hundreds of them there. And the first thing that happens is when you go to one of these websites, you have an application process as an affiliate. You want to apply as an affiliate. And the application process, as you can see here in this little picture on the right-hand side box, here's kind of what your traditional affiliate acceptance application looks like. Usually you fill out your username, your password, your first name, last name, basically all your contact information. And so the first thing I need to point out here is that when you're filling out an application like this, and I'll show you in a live demonstration in a short bit, when you're filling out an application like this, you want to make sure everything is completely on par and is completely correct. A lot of people do struggle with this part. So just for example, when you're filling out, let's say, the email address, use the email address that you always use. If let's say you use Hotmail all the time, then use your Hotmail account, because that's when you're going to check out the most. And of course, the most important part, and let me stress this out very much as I can, is that when you're entering in the phone number field, use whatever phone number you always have available to you. For example, if you're always on your cell phone, put in your cell phone number. If you're always at home and you have a work phone, put in your work phone home number, because whenever they're going to call you, you want to make sure you can pick up the phone and get on the phone with them, because typically in order to get approved by most CPA networks, it requires what's called a phone verification. It's very simple, very, very simple. So once you fill out this application, they're going to call you, and preferably, and you can usually let them know, call me in the evening or call me in the afternoon. Just let them know what time to call you, and then at that point, when they call you, they're going to ask you a couple of simple questions. They're going to ask you questions such as, for one, what is it that you do on the internet? Are you going to tell them what exactly you do? I'm promoting let's say you're promoting like what's something on the top of my head, dog training products. So you're promoting dog training programs on the internet, and then they're going to ask you, all right, well, what kind of traffic are you sending to this dog training program that you're promoting on the internet right now? And then you'll reply with however you're promoting it. And you're going to say, I'm promoting it through Google, I'm promoting it through pay-per-click, whatever you have available that you're doing right now. Even if you're at a scenario right now where, you may not be promoting anything, you're completely brand new, don't let that scare you at all. You could still at the same time get approved into any network. All you simply need to say to them is that I am very interested in learning the CPA business. I am fully dedicated towards wanting to promote your offers. I've heard so much about this network, and I want to go and work with your affiliate manager. And I'll explain what that is in a short bit. What you're basically implying there is that even as a newcomer, you're very dedicated towards working within their network. And that's what networks like to hear, because if they hear that you're going to focus on promoting their offers over any other network, even if you're brand new, they like that, because at the end of the day, a network only makes money if you make money. So it's an interesting model if you think about that. So, if I make $100 for a network, then they make money. So it's always in their interest to help you. So always understand that. It's always in their interest to help you out. So when you're filling out this, so just get back at this application. So once you've filled it out, you also see out here at the bottom, they'll usually ask you for a website. It kind of usually helps to have some sort of pre-existing website. It is not crucial, but if you don't, it's okay. But if you can get something up, it always helps you a lot more. So that's typically how it works as far as when you join the network. You simply fill out an application like you see here on the right-hand side. There's a number of networks out there that you can join. Just to throw some names out to you right now, if that helps you out. Let's say one, ClickBooth, which is the biggest CPA network in the world. You have Azoogle. You have Commission Junction. You have Copiac.com, ROIRocket.com, ads4do.com, ewanetwork.com, affiliate.com, hydramedia.com. Really, the list goes on and on. There are so many networks out there, and so it's important to understand that when you're joining a CPA network, always put in your full information. Be honest, be upfront, be direct. Just tell them exactly what you do. And even if you're not doing much right now, you're still struggling to make your first couple of sales on the internet, be upfront and direct with them. Just tell them, look, I'm looking to generate more traffic. I need some help with it, but I'm interested in working with your network specifically. If you guys can help me get the results I can get, then that'd be great. And just to attest to this point that I'm stressing out here, because that proof that anyone can do this, I'm going to give you a case example right now. A friend of mine, he owns this network called converttomedia.com. It's a $40 million company. And they had an affiliate who was completely brand new. He didn't understand a thing. Maybe this is exactly where you're at right now. And he was in his late 20s, I believe. I was talking to him about this actually just a couple of days ago as I was in New York City for an event called AdTech. And so we're at the exhibit hall, we're talking about this. And basically what he said was that he had a newcomer to the game, and he really didn't understand very much at all. But actually, if you go to his blog, he talks about this. He basically talks about how this guy, who was completely brand new, had no idea what he was doing, got the help from this network's affiliate manager, and basically at that point, where he is today, he's making $1 million a month now, promoting their CPA offers on their network. That's a big, big success story. It just goes to show that if you're just dedicated to promoting offers on one specific network and you seek out the help from that network, they will do big, big things for you. It's always because of the fact that it's in their interest to help you, that means they'll give you everything you need to succeed. And this is why CPA networks are one of the greatest models to create success on the internet, because they'll show you exactly what it takes, and they'll give you everything you need in order to create those successes. And even if you get into a scenario where you get denied by a CPA network, the first thing that I have to say to you is that it's important to have some confidence here. Just because a CPA network denies you doesn't mean it's the end of the world. I mean, what it really comes down to is persistence. In my field, my couple of years of being involved with CPA network, I've been denied by a couple of networks out there, and I've applied to quite a lot of them out there as well. I'm not going to name names of networks, but I've had networks deny me, and I've had no idea why. But what I do is I simply just pick up the phone, I call the network, and I ask them why to reapprove me, and I basically tell them I have no idea why I was denied, but basically I want to work with this network. I know what you guys provide. I know what offers you provide, and I don't want to be involved with you, so I don't see why there's a reason to not approve me. Would you mind explaining to me why it was that I wasn't approved? And guess what the answer typically is? And typically, if someone gets denied by a network, the answer typically comes down to one simple fact: that they didn't pick up the phone. It's so strange how that works. You know, it's that simple. Typically, most networks deny somebody because they couldn't get a hold of them. So that's why I said it's really important that you just put in your phone number, make sure that they can contact you, and tell them and ask you those questions, because that's what it requires to typically get approved by a CPA network. So it's very simple. So if this is something that's been holding you back, this alone will immediately get you in there by tomorrow morning. If you go after this call, you go and you sign up to a network, you follow exactly what I've just shown you just now, go in tonight, apply. Tomorrow morning, you'll have a call, or usually it's on Monday to Friday. So let's say by Monday, you should be approved by a CPA network just by following exactly what I've told you right now. So you should have absolutely no problem at all at this stage. So that's the first part, and that's, of course, the most important part, because that's where you actually get into joining a CPA network. So now that you've gone to past that stage and you've actually joined a CPA network, some of the next steps are, of course, being able to find what we like to call spying out and trying to find the good offers that are out there on the internet that are worth promoting. So what that comes to at this point is usually you want to start looking at offers that have what's called a good payout. And there's a number of ways we can do this. I'm going to explain to you how this can be done. And one of the first things that's important to understand, and it's a very, very important metric, is in regards to what's called the payout. You know, how much money you actually make from promoting an offer on the internet. And this can be measured through a metric that we call the EPC, which is an abbreviation for what's called earnings per click. If you're involved, of course, with a lot of the training that Mark Ling provides, especially with things that are involved with ClickBank and the Affiliate course, he talks about conversions. So that's another way of looking at it. Well, you know, basically what that basically means is that, for example, if you send 100 visitors to a website, you know, typically, let's say 2 people buy a program. That's what's called a 2% conversion. And then, of course, you calculate the amount of commissions that you get from those promoting those 2 sales. But in the CPA world, we call this EPC. It's a different formula. And this is basically what's called earnings per click. So what this is basically a calculation of is the amount of commissions that you make divided by the amount of clicks that you send to a website. So, for example, if you make $20 from promoting an offer and you sent it 100 visitors, then you simply just do 20 divided by 100, and then you're going to get 20 cents EPC. So what that means is that on average, for every visitor that comes to your website that you're promoting, you're making 20 cents for every time per visitor on average. This is a very important metric to understand, because if you're ever buying traffic out there on the internet, if you're buying banners, you're going on Google AdWords, on pay-per-click, you're buying traffic on pay-per-view, on email drops, there's a number of ways to get traffic. But whenever you're buying traffic, you want to always be able to figure out your numbers to make sure you are always in a profit zone, so you're always in the green. So this can be simply calculated by understanding EPC, because, for example, let's say we're buying traffic at 5 cents cost per click. Just to be hypothetical here, say you're on Google AdWords and you're buying traffic for a keyword and it costs 5 cents per click. That basically means that taking the formula here of EPC, we know that 20 cents minus 5 cents means 15 cents. So that basically means for every visitor that comes to our website, which we're paying money for, we're going to be making 15 cents profit margin for every visitor that comes to a website. That way you always know from that simple formula that you're always going to make money. It's a simple formula. It doesn't take much work. It's very simple math. So one important thing to understand is understanding your benchmarks, because you want to understand what to look out for. You know, there's so many offers out there on the networks. So what's considered a good offer? You know, what's considered a good EPC in this case, right? And to give you an idea, it really does depend on the offer that you're promoting, and it really does depend on how much money you're spending in traffic. But typically from offers that we like to promote, which are the biggest type of offers to promote on the internet, which are called risk-free trial offers, typically what you want to look for is what's called a dollar EPC. That's usually a pretty good metric. Even in anywhere upwards of $3 to $4 is actually really, really good. And if you can even get more than that, then really you're in some really good traffic right now, and you're going to be making a lot of money as a result of doing that. So understanding that if a dollar EPC is good, then you know that you could spend anywhere from no money to, let's say, 75 cents per click. Then you can always be making a good chunk of money every single time. So it's important to understand this simple formula, because when it comes to a payout on an offer, we can get a good grasp of how much money we can potentially make from sending a lot of traffic to that website. So now understanding how EPC works and how we can make lots of money from promoting certain offers, the next important thing to do right now in this step, in this process, is to simply just go out there and find what are the proven converting offers out there on the internet, on these CPA networks. And that can be done very, very easily. I'm going to show you, again, a couple of examples in a short bit. So the first thing you need to ask yourself right now, and of course having a pen and paper in hand, is what vertical or what market do you want to get involved in? Do you want to be involved in, let's say, the diet business? Do you want to be promoting weight loss offers or anything related to diet? Or do you want to be involved in insurance offers? Are you someone who already has knowledge in how insurance or auto insurance works, or car loan, or health insurance, or basically anything in regards to that vertical or that market? Do you already have experience? Do you want to be promoting business opportunity programs like the Make Money with surveys, or with making money from home, work at home, those sort of things? Or do you want to be involved with education, college offers, or dating? You know, there's a lot of dating websites out there. You have like Mate1, True.com, Lavalife.com. There's a lot of those websites that you could promote on a CPA basis. Mobile offers. I'm sure if you ever turn on the TV nowadays, and you'll see commercials that are basically saying, you know, text 2345 to get free ringtones onto your cell phone. And at the bottom of it, they'll say, you know, standard charges apply, you know, from texting. There's lots of offers like that on the internet as well, and you can get paid really good money. And actually, that's where a lot of business is going to be coming in the future. So, as a side note, that's a very important market that's going to get a lot of growth in the future. And of course, you have beauty, like resveratrol, anti-aging skin cream offers, financial offers. There's lots of different things. Like John said earlier, the markets that are out there involve something surrounding around desperation in the marketplace, or vanity, things that people want to do to change themselves, their appearances, to look better, to look younger. There's lots of the different markets to be involved in out there. So right now with a pen and paper, start writing down some of these markets that you might actually be really involved in, you might want to get involved with as well. And at that point, what you want to do is you want to use a website. It's called offervault.com. It's a completely free service to use. And we'll get into that in a little bit. I'm going to show you, again, a live demonstration in a short bit of how that works. And of course, as another note, what you can do is going to talk to your affiliate manager, because your affiliate manager can keep you apprised with all the latest hot converting offers out there on their own CPA network. So they'll tell you, you know, this offer right now, like resveratrol skin cream is converting at $4 EPC, and is one of the hottest offers out there on our CPA network right now. So understanding that is a really good thing. So you can always talk to your affiliate manager. And when you join a CPA network, they assign what's called an affiliate manager. It's something I should have mentioned just now. So basically, when you sign into a CPA network, you get this guy who's assigned to you. He gives you his email, his number, his instant messaging contacts. And you can always stay in touch with this individual, and he'll always help you. He'll give you all the information you need to have success with CPA marketing. And it's a very important thing to have at your disposal, because he'll be able to tell you exactly what offers are converting out there on their own CPA network. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you an example of how I can go about doing this. And also, at the same note, being able to find high converting offers out there as well on the CPA networks. So right now, of course, you can see on my screen here, I'm actually at offervault.com. And as you can see here, here's the interface of how offervault.com works. I have a search box, and I have tons and tons of CPA network offers that I can run. And so basically, as we said earlier, you want to have some idea in mind of an offer that you want to promote. This can be done through simply just typing in the root keyword. So for example, let's say I want to be involved in promoting something in the diet market. So I know that I've been seeing a lot of what these called these acai berry campaigns out there on the internet. So all you have to type in here is I can type in diet, or in this case I'm going to do is going to type in acai, which is A-C-A-I. And I'm going to hit the search button over here. Oh, sorry, I have to log in again. So let's type that again. SAI, hit search. And of course, as we can see here, we have 299 CPA offers that came out as a result. And so Offer Vault, what it basically does is it gets you a list of all the CPA network offers out there from tens and tens and tens of numbers of networks out there on the internet. And what you can see here, as you can see this little arrow box here right next to lead, I'm going to hit this button. And as you can see here, take a look. I'm going to grab the highlighter here. As you can see, the lead payout, well, the highlighter's not working, but as you can see, the lead payout is sorted from the highest to the lowest. So now what I can do is I can look out at all the CPA networks out there that have the highest payout for the acai offers that I can promote and get the most amount of money possible. So we can see here that this network called Elite Clicks Media has an offer called acai Fit, which pays out $48 per lead. This is important because as you can see here, as we keep scrolling down, we can see a number of other offers out there in the diet market that don't even pay out as much as the acai Fit. You know, we can see that on average, a lot of these are anywhere in the low 40s. However, but we can see here that in this offer here, acai Fit, it pays out $48 a lead. So we can get a lot higher of a lead payout by promoting this offer simply by just using this free service. We can have the highest paying offer, and then we can go here, click this link here, and actually join that CPA network, and then follow all the instructions that I just gave you earlier in this call to go and join that network and start promoting that offer. So it's a very good tool to have at your disposal because you can always find out the highest paying offer and then get the most amount of money possible for the amount of traffic that you're sending to a website. So it's very important to have that at your disposal. So OfferVault is a very, very powerful tool in that case because simply just by typing in a keyword, you can find out all the offers out there sorted by the highest payout and then see which one has the best converting offer out there. And then just simply by joining that network and talking to the affiliate manager that gets assigned to you, you can ask them questions about that offer, the acai Fit offer, and figure out everything about that offer in order to promote it. They'll give you everything you need at that point. So this is where we get into what we call as the Blitzkrieg method, and this is one of our methods that we use in order to conquer pretty much any CPA offer that we want to promote out there. Because at this point, we've already gotten a pretty good grasp about how to simply understanding how to join these networks. We know now how to go about finding some good paying out offers. So now what we get into is basically the model in terms of how we start creating this money, our success with promoting CPA offers. And of course, this is what I'm sure most of you are going to be very focused and interested into because this is how we go about creating very, very powerful pages out there on the internet that make us all of our sales that we get in order to promote these CPA offers. So the Blitzkrieg method is simply about using all of our little tools and tricks and marketing strategies out there that we use in our affiliate marketing, simply just by throwing it into a landing page and creating lots of different marketing tricks and elements and scarcity plays, and we'll get into that in order to create this massive amount of profit that we create while promoting CPA offers. And it's comprised of 3 elements here. As you can see, in our first element, we have a hot offer. This simply means that we want to be promoting an offer on a CPA network that A, has the highest payout, and B, has the best conversions, or also the best EPC. The higher the dollar amount, the better. The second component is about having what we call a never-ending stream of replenishing prospects. This simply just means that we want to be involved in a market that has mass market appeal. When we think about big markets out there in the just in our day-to-day society, think about a market like diet. When there's people who lose out interest in losing weight or being fit, there's always new people that will always fill in that gap. And the market will always be consistent. It's never seasonal, like let's say skiing, because we only do skiing in the wintertime typically. So it's not a seasonal market. It's always got consistent growth. And when that's said, it always appeases to a mass market, and that's a great thing. So you always want to be involved in something that has a big, big market. And of course, anything that's a hot offer in a CPA network is always going to be have a big amount of traffic that we can tap into. And of course, the next element that's really vital to our success with creating a massive success in CPA marketing is what we call our pre-sale page tactics. And I'll delve into all the elements that basically we use, but all these little elements that go into our landing page help us to get all this money that we create as a result of promoting CPA offers. And of course, when these three elements are done right, we're getting the right traffic and getting the right offer and having the right pre-sale page, we can start to easily create money as a result from this process. Three simple elements, and in some way or shape, if you're watching this right now and you're not creating the successes that you want, it's largely due to one of these three, or maybe one or two or more of these. Is the reason that you're not creating those successes. So if this is the reason, keep listening here, and I'll explain to you how we can go about fixing that right now. So the first thing you need to be able to figure out is you want to start looking at for the top converting offers out there on the internet being promoted right now. And we can simply just do this by exploring some very top well-known websites through Quantcast and Alexa and lots of other sites. So as you can see here in the screenshot below, we can use a website like quantcast.com. And whenever you go to quantcast.com, there's a link that's been highlighted here, as you can see in the screenshot. It says top million sites. Whenever you click that link, it's going to show you now all the top websites in the U.S. based from, of course, it's the top million. And we can see that they're all categorically ranked based on the amount of traffic that they get. And then on the right-hand side column, which is the most important part that I want you to pay attention to here, let me just highlight this here, is the most important part, because it says here that it accepts advertisements. This is very important, because it shows that these websites have people who are actively advertising, spending money, and making money. So this gets into some of the model that we use to create these successes in CPA marketing. So this is very important, so you want to pay attention to this right now. So understanding this, what we can do is we can simply just go and visit these websites and start looking at their advertisements. So I'm going to show you that, of course, in a quick moment here. So basically, as you can see, what we did is we started looking at websites that had advertisements. So here's an example of a website that gets a lot of traffic. Of course, I'm sure many of you are already familiar with this website, or of course on TV, it's foxnews.com. And of course, as you can see here in the screenshot, we're at a web page which is foxnews.com. And if you pay attention to the right-hand side of the screen, we can see advertisements. And in this case, these advertisements are promoting a teeth whitening offer. So you can see here that we have two ads that are set up in about a 300 by 250 banner creative. And we can basically tell that this is an advertisement here, and this is something that we can advertise in ourselves. So what you want to do is you want to start looking at a particular website, and every single day you want to keep going back to this website and look for ads that are, here's the key part now, ads that are consistently being repeated on these websites. There's a very important reason why. Because if someone is continually advertising, it means they're continuing always to spend money day by day by day by day. No one spends hundreds of dollars a day promoting an offer unless it's making money. It's just outright stupid. No one's going to put, let's say, $5,000 down promoting this offer for weeks upon weeks, simply just for the hell of it. They're only going to do it if they're making money. So this is the key part. If an ad is consistently being repeated on a website, then we know that the chances are they're making some good money. So simply just by going to Quantcast, looking for websites, and then start analyzing those websites every single day, we can look for ads that are consistently being repeated, then we know that these guys are making money. And of course, as you can see here, if you look carefully, you can actually see that the website here is called w6alert.com. This is one example of an advertiser. So if we click this link, of course, we can see the actual landing page that they're using to promote the offer. And so just keeping your attention focused on that website being promoted, you can simply just write it down as a note or open a notepad on your computer and just make mention to the website that you keep seeing on foxnews.com and just keep focusing on it. And after a week or so, if they're still promoting, they're making money. There's no reason why no one will consistently spend money every single time, especially on this particular advertising network, which is called AdSonar. That's on a cost per click basis. No one's going to continue to spend money unless they're making money. And at that point, what you want to do is, once you go into that guy's offer, you want to find out what offer he is that he's promoting. And so simply what we can do is simply, of course, just by going back to offervault.com, we can simply just type in the keyword, as you can see here in the screenshot. And as you can see, we did a query for teeth whitening. We sorted it by the highest lead payout, and we found out that the network called Convert to Media had the highest paying teeth whitening offer at $45 a lead. We knew which offer was out there that was basically crushing it that affiliate was promoting. So understanding now that we found a website with a traffic source, we now know their offer, we can now basically create a campaign modeling around this affiliate and understanding how he's going about creating this money, and we can get similar results as well as results of using this model in the system, the blitzkrieg method. So this is key because now we found out their offer, and now we can create a replica of his successful affiliate campaign and get similar, even better results than that affiliate is getting. And actually, using the blitzkrieg method, typically you can get way better results than that affiliate is even getting. And I'll show you how in a moment here. And of course, one of the other things you need to do is you need to set up some sort of killer pre-sale page. This is a completely, this is an example I just found on the internet somewhere, and this is to show you an example of, let's say how a pre-sale page works. And of course, there's lots of different pre-sale pages you can use out there on the internet. It's easy to get templates out there on the internet, and of course, you can make your own. There's a number of ways of going about doing this, and so I'll even show you a case example of one that I found as well, and you can get some really good ideas that you can implement just with a few simple tricks and strategies that you can implement right into a landing page, just little pieces of code, and it'll dramatically increase the amount of ROI that you get from promoting an offer. So of course, this is just a simple example of how a pre-sale page works. So what we're going to do now is I'm actually going to show you some of those elements that actually go into the blitzkrieg page. So like I was saying earlier, we have lots of elements that we could put into a website and dramatically increase the amount of ROI that we get from promoting an offer that typically most affiliates won't even look at. They're just completely oblivious to this, and it's mind-blowing sometimes how easy it is to just crush out other affiliates out there when you're buying traffic. So these are some case examples. I'm going to show you a live demonstration in just a short moment here. We have what's called dual offers. A dual offer is simply just a system where it says step 1, buy this program, step 2, buy this program. Typically, you're creating a system that people can use to get some sort of result. And the reason that we focus on only 2 offers instead of 1 is because, for obvious reasons, we can potentially double the amount of money that we make per visitor that comes to our website. So typically, you're promoting, let's say, a $45 offer. You're hoping to make, a commission or a profit as a result of that. But what we do with a dual offer is we tell them, you need to buy these 2 programs. So now you have 2 offers at $45 a lead. You're now making up to $90 per visitor on average. So it basically just doubles the results right off the bat because you're promoting 2 completely different offers that a visitor needs in order to get the successes and the results that they're looking for, and as a result of coming to that website. The second little element that we use in our blitzkrieg method is what's called scarcity or an expiry date. So typically what you see is that based off it's a simple JavaScript code. For example, today's date, I believe, is November 7th. And of course, not for Mark out there in Australia, but so what that means is that basically from November 7th, as being today, what it'll say is that, let's say, a couple of days later, it'll show a completely different expiry date. It'll say, this offer is going to expire in, let's say, November 10th. And so basically it just implies more scarcity and expire for them to create more urgency with the visitor for them to take action and buy the program. And the next element that we use is what's called a coupon code. Now, pay attention to this because coupon codes are so powerful. It's unbelievable how many amount of commissions I get and sales as a result of using coupon codes. Think about when you get coupons in the mail. When you wake up, let's say Saturday morning, and you get these coupons that come in your mail, and typically they're let's say 50 cents off for buying some cereal boxes or something. For some reason we intrinsically feel psychologically that whenever we can get a discount to buy some sort of product that we typically want, we feel that there's more of an urgent need to go and actually buy that product. So coupon codes are very powerful because when we're starting to promote what's called risk-free trial offers, we can actually start to reduce the shipping and handling costs. So typically on a risk-free trial, you're paying, let's say, $5 for shipping and handling to get a free product. So when you're promoting that CPA offer, a coupon code can dramatically reduce that cost to, let's say, $1 or $2. So now the potential customer only has to spend $1 to $2 to get the product instead of paying $5 up front. and makes the deal a lot easier for the potential prospect to go and buy that product. And it always, hands down, always works to beat out any other competitor out there in the game. And of course, we can use what's called as well exit hover. So whenever some visitor tries to sort of leave a website, a big banner will pop up and create some sort of scarcity or urgency reason for them to stay and actually buy the product. And now, of course, we have what's called an opt-in hover. And an opt-in hover basically means that when a visitor comes to a website, the web page grays out for a moment, an opt-in box appears, basically asking for their name and email with some benefits, and basically tries to get them as a subscriber. And of course, we have an exit pop. If you ever try to physically leave a website, a pop-up occurs, tells them whether they want to leave the website or not. And I've usually, in this case, and this is very important, because when I put an exit pop code, it's a simple JavaScript code, into my website, I get 48% more ROI from a simple piece of JavaScript code that goes into a website. And all it does is it's just trying to get them at a second chance to go back to the offer. And so what it does is it redirects them to the CPA offer, and it gives them a chance to fill out that form. And then finally, we have what's called a geo-target. And a geo-target simply just identifies the visitor from wherever they live, and then we can use that code on a website and then create a more compelling sales message by saying, hi, my name is Steve Iser from Toronto, Ontario, because the visitor is in Toronto, Ontario as well. And so it picks up that address, and we can create a more dynamic pre-sale process as a result of implementing that. So let me show this to you in live demonstration of how this is shown. So I just went and I found this page randomly just right now on the internet. And so I don't know whose page this is, but it uses some of these elements. And I wouldn't recommend using a pre-sale page like this at all, in fact. We'll talk about that in just a short moment later in this call. So as we can see here, in this pre-sale page, we can see that here we can see the dual offer is being used here. They say step 1, buy this offer called Acai Max Force. And then right beneath it, it uses the other element called the promo code, and it tells them to use the promo code Acai number 4 and then me. And then under step 2, it says big time muscle, which is a completely other different offer. So basically what this program's preaching is that to get these kind of results, you basically just you buy these two products and you can get similar results, right? To lose more weight and to get more ripped. And of course, the promo code, and right underneath we have the scarcity expiry date saying free trial offer expires, and then we show the date here. Now, of course, we can see a couple of other elements pop up, because if I take my cursor and I move it away, we can see this big hover pops up here. So take a look at this, a special discount update. For a limited time, you can get a huge 75% discount. All you need to do is enter the promo code Acai number 4 and me, and then basically it says you click here to see if you qualify. So here's an example of how an exit hover works into a pre-sale page. And of course, if I scroll down below, we can see that, of course, it says here that if you use the promo code, you can reduce the shipping from $5 to $1.99. And so basically it combats into a step 1, step 2 system, and it uses some story to explain how this certain individual got the results that he did with using these two different products. Of course, there's a number of different ways to create pre-sale pages. You can do what's called the story pre-sale page, as you can see here. You can do your standard review page. And basically, these blitzcrank methods can basically go into any single kind of pre-sale page and work every single time, no matter what kind of pre-sale page it is. But this is just a clear example of how this is being worked in just an everyday scenario in affiliate marketing right now. So this is just another example of how things or results are being made promoting CPA offers. And of course, so using all these elements in one page, using our blitzkrieg method, you can dramatically outbeat any competitor out there in the affiliate business and the marketplace, and dramatically increase your costs, so you can completely cut them out and just take advantage of all the positioning and get much more traffic and much more business as a result of implementing the system. So it's very, very powerful. So using these notes right now, of course, hopefully you're writing this down, because these systems are very powerful and can literally dramatically increase the amount of results that you get in terms of the amount of commissions you get from promoting a CPA offer. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to switch the screen back over to John here, and John's going to talk about some of these other traffic systems that you can put into this model to start getting that traffic. So we talked about getting into the network. We talked about understanding the highest payout to get on an offer, the types of offers you can promote, how to set it up. And so finally, what really comes down to is how to get that traffic, how to get those people that you want onto a website, start getting those profits. So, John, if you're still there, I'm going to hand over the screen right back to you here. So
Okay.
give me a moment. And there you go. So you should have it there.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
I see your screen.
Okay. So, as Stephen mentioned, we started off with getting into the network, getting approved, and obviously that's the first component to all of this, getting into the networks. And then the next piece is finding an offer. So using various techniques, including the ones that we talked about, to find the best paying offer in the market that you want to go into. Then the next piece, using the Blitzkrieg method, that's about developing higher conversions, higher earnings per click. All those Blitzkrieg methods, those are really keyed in on elevating urgency, elevating scarcity, putting the customer, the visitor, into a loop where they really have a much higher chance of taking action for you. So we've got the offer, we've got elevated EPC conversions ready to go. Now it's time to get into the traffic. Now, obviously, there's a wide variety of ways that you can run traffic to a CPA offer, just like you can on any other type of offer when you're promoting something online, whether it be your own product or an affiliate product. There's the CPV, PPV, there's pay-per-click, content network, article marketing, SEO. It's just a whole slew of different methods that you can use to drive traffic. Unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier in the call, a little bit earlier this evening, this is one of those areas where people get stuck, so finding an offer, okay, yeah, I get what you guys are saying, great, I can do that. Oh, okay, implementing these various tools and scripts to, kind of loop the visitor into this situation where they're more likely to take action. Okay, I get that, that makes sense. Creating the pre-sale, that makes sense, but, how do I get traffic? How do I put targeted visitors on these offers? So what I thought we would do is I'll show you one very cool resource and traffic solution that, again, after we get done with this call, you could basically go out and get traffic and put a CPA offer on there and start as soon as this evening. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a resource here called Buy-Sell Ads. Now, Buy-Sell Ads is what I would call an intermediary. What they do is essentially sell advertising space for websites that are out there that get, website traffic already, that don't want to contend with the selling of their own website space. And there's a number of resources out there online, just like Buy-Sell Ads. I picked Buy-Sell Ads because I like their interface, and they're very, very easy to use, and it's a solid program. But again, there's a number of these different websites out there that do the same thing, like AdToll is another one that comes off the top of my head. And if you went to Google and you Googled up buy and sell banner space, or buy banner space, you could probably find many more of these. So there's a lot of different opportunities to get traffic through resources such as Buy-Sell Ads, or one of these intermediaries. And again, these people that own these websites that are getting the traffic, they just don't want to contend with any of the the logistics of selling their traffic month to month, getting people to buy their space. They they don't want to necessarily do AdSense. They're looking to get more monetization for the traffic that they do get. So they go to Buy-Sell Ads or whatever, AdToll or whatever, and sell the space through them. Now what you do when you go to Buy-Sell Ads, you click Buy Ads. And then what happens is it brings up a list of the websites. There's hundreds of websites out here, and it starts off as default to listed by the number of impressions that site gets on a monthly basis. And then here on the right, you can see these dollar figures. And what this is this is the amount of money that these sites charge through Buy-Sell Ads to advertise on their websites for 30 days. And if you look closely at this, you can see that there's some opportunities here, like on this B Templates site, to get some advertising for 30 days for $250. Here's some for official PSDs down here for 30 days for $250. Userscripts.org, 30 days for $200. And we're not talking about sites that aren't getting any action, any traction. I mean, look at the amount of impressions. This is millions of impressions per month for as low as $200. So, these are real websites getting real traffic. And what you would do is, you would go through these websites and you would try to find one that maybe is targeted to an offer that you've already got selected. Now, in this case, in buy-sell ads, it's not always the case, but a lot of these sites happen to be more tech-friendly, more geek-friendly, if you will. So, when you're looking at these sites thinking about, okay, so, here's some places where I can maybe buy some traffic and do some advertising and maybe start, making some money with CPA marketing, you probably want to be thinking about, the various offer types that might make sense for, these types of websites. Now, I'm going to go ahead and single out e-wallpapers as an example. I want to check this one out. It looks like $550 is the amount that they're asking for, over 7 million impressions rather. So I'm going to just go ahead and click on this link, and it drops down a little bit more information about it. And here's the actual URL. It's ewallpapers.eu, not .com. There's a thumbnail of the site, so I can get a quick cursory glance of what the site actually looks like. And then here's the actual advertising information. And you'll see that even though this says $550 up here, you could get $550. Well, that one sold out. You could get one for $600. The 160 by 600, the skyscraper on the right side. There is one here, 202 by 70, kind of an odd banner size, but for $150. You could be getting a banner for 30 days with 7,285,000 impressions. So the next thing that I would want to do is I would want to go ahead and actually look at this site and see if the banner space that's available is something that I'd be interested in, especially at $150. I'm going to be highly interested in that at $150. So I just go ahead and copy this, go ahead and open up a new tab here, paste that, and pull up the site. And now, as I start to look at it, I scroll down, and here you see advertise here. Here's the open banner space. And as you can see down below, there's some other CPA offers already happening on this particular site. Someone, probably looks like maybe one person actually, advertising the probably like a Force Max or something along those lines. But this is the banner space that is advertised for $150 a month. Now it is below the fold. So, it's not going to get as much action as a banner, say, up here would have, or this banner up here. But for $150 a month at, over 7 million impressions, this looks like this is probably something that's going to get some, some good traffic to it. If you create a nice banner that really stands out, you could probably get some really good clicks, and it wouldn't take a lot of sales, a lot of leads on the CPA side to actually, be in profits on a banner that you're paying $150 a month for. So that's what the site looks like. So I look at that, and if I'm interested, and this one I might be interested in, so I'll kind of keep that in mind, and we'll go back to buy sell ads. And again, I'm just gonna look at for that particular slot that's for sale, the impressions, and it says it's getting over 7 million impressions per month. It will not rotate, so that means essentially every time somebody gets to that site, they're going to see my ad, and it's going to be that same second spot that it was when I pulled up the website. Now, the next thing that I want to do, before I get really serious about committing to this, is I just want to go ahead and confirm that the website traffic information that's listed here is accurate. So I'm going to go to a free resource called Google Ad Planner. And you can also do this with, say, compete.com. I'm just going to go ahead and put in my ewallpapers.eu, and you see that it accepts advertising. And here's the traffic statistics. So you can see that worldwide, it's getting 220,000 per month unique visitors and 7.4 million page views. So the 7,285,000 page views here, or impressions here, is accurate. Additionally, what I would do is I would scroll down and I would check out, what my demographic is. Largely male in this particular case. education, not as important in this case. The age range, this is important. This is always important to know the age range when you're buying traffic on a site, because if say the majority of the demographic for this site, like let's use Webkins as an example, and I use that one because my 7-year-old daughter has grown incredibly fond of Webkins and is always on the Webkins website. The age bracket, the demographic for Webkins.com is probably significantly, like 17 and below, and obviously not a lot of credit cards or money in the 17 below section. So something that would be worth checking out here, and it looks like from 18 on up is the lion's share of this demographic. I might just check out the household income demographic to see if they have money. But really, I want to key in on this, and I want to key in on this. I want to make sure that the page views are accurate, that it's getting decent traffic. When you use a site such as Compete to check this information, Compete.com, you can also get some trending, some data. You can see how long it's been getting this kind of traffic, because if it's a recent heavy spike, there's a good chance that traffic might go back down. But if I like the consistency of the traffic, if I like the amount of the traffic, and I like the demographic, then it's definitely something that I'm going to be considering. So we go back to buy-sell ads here, and like I said, we've confirmed that the amount of traffic that they're talking about is accurate based on using Google Ad Planner to compare it to. So this is something that hey, I would seriously consider this. So now we have the situation of, okay, I know where I can get some traffic, and I know how I can get some traffic starting in about 10 minutes from right now. What kind of offer might I want to put on this? What you want to make sure that you're targeted, as much as possible to, to the traffic that you're getting here. So if you go into various networks, you actually find that there's some pay per download programs where you can get paid when someone actually simply downloads a toolbar, downloads a game. So you're not even having to get like an email address or a zip code or anything. Basically, you're getting paid when the visitor clicks into the ad, clicks the download button, and downloads whatever program is on the other end. And there's actually an offer out there that I've seen, and there's probably more, but there's an offer out there that I've seen for free wallpapers. And it's free wallpapers, and the payout, the last time I looked, was like $375 or something along those lines per download. So highly targeted to e-wallpapers. People are coming to the site, and lots of people are coming to the site for free wallpapers. So you can offer up free wallpapers and get paid per download. And I'm willing to bet that at $150 a month, it would not be difficult to very quickly get a return on that. And it's definitely worth the risk to me to try $150 to get some good traffic and start putting traffic on an offer. So this is really an easy way to get traffic. If this is one of those barriers that you've had, you can start finding these intermediary sites such as buy-sell ads, and you can go out there and you can really, literally, it's like a la carte. There's a menu of sites that you can get traffic from and targeted traffic at that. So this is an excellent way. Pretty much, like I said, within 10 minutes from now, I could be putting an ad here on this website or any of these websites and starting to get traffic and clicks. So one of those huge barriers that people typically run into, it's eliminated. Now, one other quick point I might make about this. This is going to be all banners. Some of them are banners and text ads. It depends on the intermediary site like buy-sell ads. Some of them are banners, some of them are text ads. If you have never done banner advertising, well, here you know what your specs are, right? This is 202 by 70. If you've not had a banner created for yourself, what you might do is you might go back into the network, look at the offer creatives. More often than not, you'll see banner creatives in the offer creatives, and chances are you're probably not going to find a 202 by 70, banner size. But what you might find is, the typical 468 ad. And what you can do is you can actually take that banner if you like the banner, and then go to a site such as $20banners.com or any other site like that, and just give them the information and tell them, hey, this is the kind of banner that I want, but I need it 202 by 70, and because it's going to be mixed into some other ads, I really need it to pop, I really need it to stand out. Give them your text, within 24 to 48 hours for just 20 bucks. You've got a good banner, and you're getting targeted traffic on an offer, and just like that. I mean, totally simplifies the process. So again, buy-sell ads or ad tolls or any of those intermediary sites, you can find high traffic, and you can get that traffic for very low cost per click or cost per impression. And when you find the site, just to recap, when you find a site that you're interested in, make sure you double check it with compete.com, Quantcast, or Google Ad Planner. And then you go further, you go back to the network, you find the highest paying offers at the networks that would relate to those particular sites. You can take banners back from the network and then go to a source like $20 banners or something along those lines and have them create one for you. Here's one I had them create for me. I'm not a Photoshop expert by any stretch. I'd rather let one of the designers handle it for me. And here's a banner that I had created for very little money, and an excellent job I think that they did just based on the specs that I gave them within 24 hours. Okay, so that's traffic. That's a simple and great resource to get traffic very quickly. Here we're gonna kick this up a couple of notches into a full-on process that we call the hammer method. Now, what this relates to really is process, affiliate process. When you're a product owner or a product creator, you have a full sales process, which includes a variety of front-end offers, back-end offers, lead sources. You could do any number of things, and that's why a lot of people create products, is they want the flexibility to flesh out these processes and maximize the amount of money that they make. As an affiliate, oftentimes, most of the time, the process that you have is limited up to the point where you basically have closed a lead or closed a sale. That's where your process stopped. The affiliate process for many CPA marketers is as simple as pre-sale page to offer, and then they're out. That's it. So they get the traffic to a pre-sale page, or if for some reason they're direct linking, maybe it's pay-per-view or something like that. So creative or direct link to the CPA offer, and then they're out. So a very short and simple process, but a process that loses a lot because you're pretty much bound by the buyer, the product owner gets everything else. Excuse me. The hammer method gives the affiliate the opportunity to create a process that is almost as if they were the product owner, the product creator. And it allows for a lot more money on any campaign that you implement this in. So here's kind of how it works. At the start, I've got pre-sale blog. Now you can use static HTML. Personally, I like to use blogs. I find that they're more flexible for me. They're easier to set up. I don't have to go into Dreamweaver and do this and do that. It's very quick to upload a blog and start creating it within a few minutes. The other nice thing about the pre-sale blog, using a blog, is the opportunity to get different plugins. And there's a plugin that is free that allows you to pop up an opt-in hover and capture name and email address. And this is one of those things that I don't see a lot of CPA marketers talking about. I think it's starting to become a little bit more popular, but for some reason, not everybody's doing this yet. But building lists. This is something we're taught about in the internet marketing side. Always be building lists. Well, here's your chance to do that on the CPA side. Why not build lists? If you're in certain markets, maybe it doesn't make sense. Maybe the free wallpaper example we talked about when we talked about that traffic, maybe it doesn't make sense to be building a list for the free wallpaper, right? But, if you're promoting business opportunity offers, yeah, those kinds of markets, you want to be building a list for it if at all possible. So here's your chance to do it. So the visitor comes to your pre-sale blog with this free WordPress plugin. It pops down and, whatever time frame that you give it, 10, 15, 20 seconds, and it just pops up, and it's like a light box where the whole back goes gray or black, and then there's just your opt-in form. And, I've found in using these myself, without even offering any incentive, any giveaway, any, here's what you get for registering kind of a scenario, that I've gotten up to like 42, 45% opt-in. So automatically, all the traffic that I'm getting on my pre-sale page, of all that traffic, nearly half of that traffic is going into a list, which I can then promote other products to, follow up on the same product that I'm promoting, through this pre-sale blog. Automatically right there, I've started growing my profit and maximizing even further the value of every visitor that I get. Now, if the person gets into the opt-in hover, if they go ahead and register for this setup, for this process, the next thing that they're going to do is they're going to go to a link. If they don't opt in, if they click the little X to close the opt-in box, there's an opportunity for them to click one of my links. This pre-sale blog is going to contain those blitzkrieg methods that Steve was talking about earlier. I'm using those processes to help drive conversions, drive earnings per click. So, I'm using those tools to try to get more people to click that link to go to the offer. But if they don't, again, the whole blitzkrieg idea, if they click away, they're going to go to an exit splash, which is going to go ahead and redirect them to the offer anyway. So, pretty much right here, we've got kind of like this gatekeeper that's driving as many people as possible, whether they've opted in or not, to an offer. Now, this link, the way that we set up the link, we use a tool that we've created called GeoCPA. And what this does is this splits traffic between international and, say, US, UK, Australia, Canada. When you start promoting the CPA offers, if maybe you've already seen this, or maybe you haven't yet, but when you start promoting CPA offers, typically you'll find that there's a lot of offers that are US only, or there's a significant number of offers that are like US, UK, Australia, Canada, or maybe there's another country in there. But oftentimes, you have a limitation on where these offers are approved. And if you send traffic, typically, if you send traffic to these offers, if you send international traffic, that international traffic won't be able to see the offer that you're promoting. They'll either see a secondary offer. So, for example, if Steve's up in Canada, if I want to promote an offer that's U.S. only, and I give Steve the link to that offer, he's not going to see it. He's not going to see the offer. He's going to see either a secondary offer that comes from the network, an international offer, or he might even see a page that says offer not available in your area. Either way, as the CPA affiliate, as the publisher, I'm not going to get paid for that. Now, granted, in some situations, you can control where your traffic comes from, but not all situations. The method that we just talked about, where you buy traffic directly through those intermediaries on those websites, when we looked at the demographic, if you'll recall, it was partially U.S. traffic, but not all U.S. traffic. So in that case, any international visitor that was to click my link or get redirected, I'm out money on that visitor until GeoCPA. GeoCPA splits that traffic. I can tell GeoCPA, okay, so if they're U.S. traffic, I want them to go to this CPA offer. If they're anything else, I want them to go to this offer. And the second offer, maybe it's an international CPA offer that covers, a number of other countries, or maybe it's even a ClickBank offer. On the CPA side, we don't talk about ClickBank a lot, but ClickBank has value. And here's a perfect example of that. ClickBank, pretty much every country under the sun, excluding very few, they'll sell products to. So here's an opportunity to make money where you otherwise would have missed it. If we didn't have this process here in place, these guys, the international guys, they're out. All this stuff right here is out. So only the guys, maybe it's half of the total traffic that I'm getting on it, half the total clicks, only those guys would be getting sent to offers. Now we've doubled back and we've made sure we've covered all of our bases. We've covered all of our traffic. So either they're U.S. traffic and they're getting redirected to the CPA offer, or they're international traffic and they're going to another CPA offer, or even a ClickBank offer. This is powerful stuff. You could be doubling your income just by doing something like that. And then here's where we actually kick it up even one more notch. I talked about how affiliates kind of get not necessarily shortchanged, but they don't have the ability typically to have a full-length process, sales process, that allows them to maximize each visitor. Well, here we've got another tool that we bring into the game called CPA Spy, and what this does is when someone goes ahead and buys and takes the action on the CPA offer, this automatically adds the buyer data, excluding credit card data because we don't do that, the buyer data to our list. So now we have a prospect list. You know, the guys that, right here, the guys that came into this hover, we've got a prospect list, and now we have a buyer's list, something that affiliates have never been able to do before. And buyer data is extremely valuable. Generally speaking, when people buy, they're going to be inclined to buy again. So now you know you've got two different types. You've got a prospect list, which of course you can be promoting to, and then a buyer list, which you can be promoting different offers to, and you know that that buyer data is going to be valuable. And you could even take this a step further. If you really wanted to, you know, lead data is valuable. Lead data is very valuable. Leads and data are a billion-dollar business by themselves. You've probably heard of people that, you know, like talk about co-registration or, you know, buying leads. You know, there's companies out there that their entire business model is selling leads to people that need leads, whether it's salespeople or marketers or online marketers. So the whole lead data industry is huge. Well, when you have buyer data, there's an opportunity, and you know everybody makes a personal decision about whether or not that's something that they want to do. When you have buyer data, that's an opportunity for you to get even more money out of this process, something that was never before possible at all. So what this hammer method does is really, really powerful. You know, in addition to utilizing the blitzkrieg techniques to, you know, make sure that you're maximizing every visitor and getting every visitor or as many visitors as possible to the actual offer itself, you're also building lists. You're taking traffic, and regardless of where the traffic's coming from, you're getting them into offers, and then you're building a buyer list too. And that's what the hammer method is really all about: complete maximization of every visitor, and taking the affiliate process and literally changing the affiliate process overnight from just a short, you know, pre-sale to offer to all this other stuff, which is just an enormous amount of additional income. And what this really allows you to do in addition to make more money is to beat out pretty much everybody else. You know, if you start going into paid traffic methods, if you have all this other opportunity here to make additional revenue off of, you know, your campaigns, that's going to allow you to bid higher, to bid on more traffic, and to pretty much outmaneuver every single person that you're competing against. And it's just powerful, powerful stuff. You know, when Steve and I talk to a lot of people about, you know, their magic number, what they're looking to do online, oftentimes we hear the 6 figures a year, or the 5 figures a month. You know, that's one of those things that it sounds like everybody wants to achieve if they're not already there yet. And it's really not that hard. It really isn't. And when people ask us how hard is it to do this in the CPA arena, you know, you've seen this banner now a couple of times through this presentation. You know, looking at just this little tiny banner on one site, this banner was making almost $2,500 a month, and using the process that we just talked about, getting anywhere from 30 to 50 opt-ins per day. You know, a lot of people that are just starting, trying to build a list, they couldn't even imagine 30 to 50 opt-ins per day. And here's this tiny little banner that was making this kind of money per month, plus 30 to 50 opt-ins per day, and whatever additional money that was making per month. That's a quarter of that 5 figures a month right there, just on one tiny little banner. With the right training and the right tools, you can quickly replace and outpace your full-time income. And it's not a lot of time. I mean, you know, I showed you the buy sell ads scenario. I mean, the amount of time it would take me to create a campaign on something like that, 45 minutes tops. If I needed to order a banner from, you know, the resource like $20 banners, maybe there's a day thrown in there for them to create the banner for me and get it back to me. But, you know, the total amount of effort that I put into that, very, very limited. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna step back for a second and talk about something a little bit personal, because, you know, I think this is something that is important for a lot of people. You know, when when I first got online, I got online as an affiliate, but fairly quickly I fell into this copywriting thing, as I mentioned earlier in the call. Within a matter of a couple of months of me starting to write copy for other people, for other marketers, I became kind of in demand, and I started just becoming a full-time copywriter. That's pretty much everything that I was doing for about a year and a half or so, just writing copy. And the money that I was getting doing that was fantastic. I mean, I was making anywhere from 25 to 65 grand a month as a copywriter. Definitely not the kind of money to sneeze at for anybody, and I certainly wasn't complaining about it. But for me, what began to happen was I was writing so much copy and adhering to all these various deadlines and trying to make sure that I was getting everything that my clients needed to them. I was working anywhere from like 15 to 18 hours a day, and it was definitely minimum of 5 days a week, usually 6, sometimes 7 days a week. And when I first got online, I got online because I wanted to make a great living, but I also wanted time with my family. I've got 2 young kids. I've got a 7-year-old daughter. I've got a 5-year-old son, and I've got my wife, and we've got dogs and cats. Part of this deal for me was more money, more time. And what I found was doing what I was doing as a copywriter, I had no time. It got to the point where my kids literally expected me to not attend things that they were doing, not to go to school events or to soccer games or practices, skipping out on family parties, where they were surprised if I actually did make it to something. And, I can remember looking at my daughter when she said something to me one time about, "Oh, Daddy, I know you're not going to make it, but it's okay because you're working." And I realized, when that happened, it was like an epiphany one day. I realized that everything that I was doing was wrong. Yeah, I was making good money, but I didn't have the time to enjoy it, and I definitely was missing out on the one thing that was really most important to me, and that was time. So I made a decision that I was going to stop doing what I was doing, and I was going to move into something else, something that allowed me to make more money and have more time, and that's what CPA marketing is all about for me. And it can be all about that for you as well. More money and more time. And that's just a wonderful, wonderful way to live your life. This is an opportunity for you. It's something that anybody can achieve, like I said, with the right tools and the right information. Oftentimes when you're looking to do something online, you're looking to find success on the internet, you're buying things from various marketers, you kind of get into a cycle. You get into like a buying cycle. So you buy one thing, you get on one marketer's list, and then you buy something from that other marketer that you just got on their list, and you end up on another list. And this really goes on and on and on and on, to the point where you might see 20, 40, 50 emails per day on any given product. And when you're in that kind of a cycle, you're definitely not moving forward. You're kind of at a standstill, stuck in like an information overload scenario where you don't know where to start. And you can stop all of that with a real proven plan for 5 figures a month, 6 figures a year. And again, anyone can do this. Anyone can do this with the right tools and the right information. What I'd like everyone to do, this is a special exclusive for Mark, for his subscribers, for the folks that have taken the time to join us on this call this evening, is to go to dirtycpaexclusive.com. And Mark, I know you've put some bonuses out there. Before I move on, did you want to talk about the bonuses at all for dirtycpaexclusive.com?
I can briefly just run through them. It's not really a. I'll go through them in a sec. I'm just typing in the domain now. CPA exclusive, just to remind myself. People can read about those after the call. There's there's good detail there as to what's in each one, but they get. I think the best one of all of them was the CPA Millionaire Bootcamp recordings. I think that was the 3rd bonus listed there, where I talked to a super affiliate friend of mine who makes over $3,000 a day from CPA offers, and he covers a lot of detail about that. There's my Super Affiliates Tactics series and several other bonuses on the page that's exclusive for the people on the webinar. And anyway, on that page, there's a link that takes you through to Dirty CPA. And John, you can carry on just telling people all about it.
Yep. So once you get to, oops, let me get back to the page here. I apologize.
Is that my screen? Sorry about that.
No, that's mine. That's fine. So once you get to dirtycpaexclusive.com, you can look over the bonuses as Mark mentioned. But when you go down and click that link, just go ahead. You'll see a box here that says Get Instant Access. And when you get to the Get Instant Access screen, you're going to see the Dirty CPA course. This is step-by-step video instruction. The resources, the proprietary tools that we personally use. For both of us, we're making tens of thousands of dollars a month doing this, and Dirty CPA is the culmination of all of that. And it's a total system. The things that we talked about tonight, that's a system, that's a process, and Dirty CPA takes that to the next level. And what you're going to be getting is the knowledge and the tools to get approved at any CPA network. We're going to take what we talked about tonight. We're going to take it and show you everything step by step, what you need to do. We provide review and landing page templates for site creation. So a lot of people that don't have websites already, we're handing you landing page templates and review templates so you can quickly, easily create your own site and use that for all of your network applications. The blitzkrieg methods that Steve talked about to blow up your conversions, I mean, this stuff, I think Steve mentioned that he's been tracking it at like 48% or some ungodly number of increased conversions, increased sales. I mean, this stuff really, really works. So we're going to be going through the whole blitzkrieg method step by step, including the tools to help you accomplish this. Copy and spy techniques, where we go full on into all of the methods that we use to find the hottest offers. Forget thinking, forget wasting hours and hours of research. We show you how to, very quickly find the best offers and how to reverse engineer them for yourself. There's no need to recreate the wheel here. We're going to show you how to find the top guys that are already making a mint with this and basically create your own campaign based off of what they're doing. Several traffic methods, PPV, how to siphon traffic off of Facebook, Bing, Yahoo, multiple methods for driving targeted traffic for the lowest possible cost per click, cost per impression. We're handing that to you in Dirty CPA. Some of our own proprietary tools, Renegade Cloaker. This is a tool that by itself would be $297. We've gone ahead and we've added that into Dirty CPA. This allows you to cloak your links, track your clicks, even do some things like stuffing cookies along those lines. GeoCPA. I mentioned the GeoCPA script that splits the traffic between the U.S. and the international traffic. We're handing you that. Free trials of several top applications. All of that is included today for you. And here's a few reasons why you should take action on this right now. This is a limited time offer. The regular full price of Dirty CPA is going to be $297. For you right now, you're in on this early. This is going to be something that we'll be releasing here very shortly. And when we do, there's a lot of people that are going to be taking advantage of this, and you get to get in on this early. And not only that, you get to get on this for a trial. You can check it out and review it in full for yourself for just $4.95 for 7 days. And this is for the first 500 people only. And again, there's going to be a lot of people seeing this offer very soon, so this is going to go very quickly. But for 7 days, $4.95. The full price is $77, so the remainder will be billed the 7 days after you join. That's only for the first 500 people that we're going to be doing this for. Another reason, we talked a lot about the various product types, the desperate markets, the vanity markets, the products that the CPA networks offer along these lines. You can almost say that this is a recession-proof industry, because no matter what happens in the economy, no matter what happens in the market, They're always creating offers that people either desire or that people need. I mentioned previously, like, today when you think about the economy, the credit crunch is an issue for a lot of people. The mortgage crisis is an issue for a lot of people. There's two products right there that, even though the economy as a whole may be looked at as in recession, there's two products that people need and that people want. And this is the kind of thing that the CPA industry brings to the table. They bring products that people want and that people need right now. And then, of course, if you're ready to draw that line in the sand, you're ready to go to that 6 figures a year or even more, and you're ready to get more time for yourself while you're doing that, then definitely the CPA industry is absolutely the way to go. And you can get access to the whole step-by-step training and the tools, everything that we talked about, for just $4.95 for 7 days through Mark's DirtyCPAExclusive.com. Steve, did you have anything that you wanted to add?
Yeah, just wanted to also mention that I think there's a lot of other people that also, I think we had over 7,500 other people that have signed up to the pre-launch list as well as the Dirty CPA program. So there's going to be a lot of top marketers that are going to be mailing for this program. So it may even come down to the point where we might just sell out just in the first couple of days. So this is going to go really, really fast. And I think for what it's worth, it's quite a bargain to get this in at this price. And especially for some of the bonuses that Mark's including with this program, I think it's a pretty much a hands-on solid deal at this point.
All right, Mark, did you have anything that you wanted to add or ask?
Yeah, I just had a few just short questions. I know that you guys don't have loads of time, but I thought I'd just ask just a couple of questions. We've got someone asking, putting this product in the hands of like 500 plus people, is that going to, in your opinion, is that going to dilute the value of the product and the opportunity?
No, not at all. I mean, this is a huge, huge, huge industry. We threw out some numbers, and we talked about the billions of dollars changing hands, and the markets that these products appeal to are very big, broad markets. So there's just no way for any of us to really consider one another competition.
I had a few people just asking about the price. Basically, it's $77, and it's one time, so that's not monthly. It's $77 one time.
Correct.
And that's it. And the $4.95 just means that you can buy it for $4.95, try it out, see if you like it, and then you won't be billed the rest of it until 7 days later. Okay, just to explain that to people. The $2.97, that's just what the price is intended to raise to after it sells out. But that's not your price. Your price is $77. It's pretty low price. It's because these guys want to get a lot of success stories and testimonials for the future. Okay, I'll just have a quick look and see if I've got a few people also asking how much of a monthly budget do you think people need to actually be able to get started with this kind of thing?
It's one of those things where you can get started for a very low budget to almost no budget. Really, it depends on the type of traffic methods that you want to implement. The one that I showed on this call. I mean, you saw how much that costs on a monthly basis, and I imagine that it wouldn't be difficult to create. Start off, if you have almost no budget or a low budget to get started off with, you can start off with something as simple as that. Take your return, your positive return, and then maybe invest it in another ad and just kind of, continue to up that. So you can really, it's something that you really can start off with a low budget. It's one of those things where some people do come in with higher budgets, in the high 3-4 figure range, and perhaps they're going to make more money faster because they do that. But again, the beauty of it is that you can come in fairly low to no budget and still have some success with this, even using just the one site, buy sell ads that we talked about tonight.
Right, and I'll also even mention in addition to that, I mean, and this is like a program that's for pretty much anyone of any level of experience in marketing, whether you're new or you're, or experienced. And even at that case, I mean, there's campaigns I run where I'm literally spending a minimum of what I call cost break-even cost, which means if an offer pays out $40, then my only goal is to only test it at $40. That's it. And I can test out those offers. I can see if I can make money from it. And from that on, it's that minimum of a cost to simply just test out an offer. It's very, very easy. I mean, there's other traffic sources where the traffic comes even much cheaper than that. So as far as budgets, I mean, they can work with pretty much within anyone's budget.
Cool. And for people that are just wondering also about the recording of this particular webinar, because you covered a lot of great strategies here, I'm going to be releasing it at affiliorama.com/blog tomorrow. So just to let you know about that. Also, is this suitable for people outside the United States?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's
Steve.
More for anyone. We have people
Steve's outside the United States.
Yeah, I am from Canada. Yeah. We had some people from all the way up from Singapore that were making money. Man, you name it. And pretty much most countries, it'll work for pretty much anyone.
Yeah. I mean, the only caveat is going to be that if you're outside of the U.S., when you're looking to check the offer pages, when you log into the networks and you want to look at the links, if you're looking at an offer page that's a landing page that's U.S. only or falls outside of your country, when you click your link to check it out, you're not going to be able to see it. But you can use like proxies to check out the offers. That's like the one caveat.
But it's not even on top of that. I mean, what you can also do is just simply ask the affiliate manager to give you the static page, so that there's no geo targeting or anything of that nature. So it's still, even regardless of that little nuance, you can still get around that easily.
Also, I've just had a few people asking what level of support is available to the members.
So we have of course, you set up a big support system in place as well. But one thing I want to throw in as well is we also do Q&A monthly webinars as well. I think that's something to also mention as well. So where people who have questions in regards to the Dirty CPA program, we literally hold an actual webinar. We just do nothing but answer everyone else's questions, and even with live demonstrations and everything. And that comes at that $77 cost too. So. And I think that's a very beneficial thing for a lot of people in this call, and I can see there's a lot of questions coming in too. So a lot of people, I think that's a very big value adder right there itself. And of course, John, you're setting up a big support system in place as well. I mean, you want to talk about that as well.
Yeah. So we have a centralized support desk help system, and we've got that fully staffed to make sure that any questions or issues or concerns are attended to very promptly. So, on the one hand, we have our customer support staff that is there to make sure that there's no hiccups with downloads, or if there's any questions that they get replied to quickly. And then, as Steve mentioned, we've got some more personalized kind of hand-holding with him and I, where we do these webinars. We do these Q&A webinars where folks can ask questions about things that they're doing in the CPA arena.
I just want to be clear. You've got also on top of that. I mean, you've got obviously your step-by-step training. You've got your customer support, and then on top of that, you have further another option for people as well on some sort of private coaching as well. I can't remember what it was. I just remember Steve mentioning it yesterday.
Well, for the first thing is that on top of that is, of course, I mean, this is for everyone who joins in the program that you see here today. Those Q&A calls are just another bit beneficial added thing that we get in there as well. But yeah, there's some other things as well that are within the program as well that you can also get access to. But the Q&A alone will pretty much get everyone's questions answered, I would imagine. Simply just to have that alone in itself will really further benefit a lot of people here on this call who are been struggling and trying to get a lot of questions answered to their CPA marketing. So that comes in as well, in addition to the support, the actual program, the video. It's all a video instruction, and there's interviews, there's lots of tactics, scripts, strategies. You get all of that. So that's there just to clarify that as well.
Cool. Well, I just want to say a big thanks for taking the time to share all of this amazing information on the call. I'm looking forward to actually getting and using some of the stuff that you've mentioned today. A couple of those, or at least one of those, that buy-sell ads network in particular, I wasn't familiar with it, and now I'm just keen to really give that a decent go with the CPA offers. So, yeah, I just want to say a big thank you for what you've been sharing on the call. The Blitzkrieg method as well looks very exciting. And for everyone out there listening, I hope that you take action with what you've learnt here, whether or not you become a member. But to me, $77 is a bargain. I mean, I've seen people releasing their courses for a heck of a lot more than that sort of price point. So, you know, it's good if you can get in early and be one of those early success stories with this kind of product. So anyway, big thank you guys for taking the time to be on the call. And for everyone listening, thanks for taking the time as well.
Thank you, Mark. We appreciate it. And thanks to everyone.
Likewise. Thanks, Mark, and thanks everyone for coming out tonight.
All right. Bye, guys.